Hi, hello everyone. Welcome to this session of my NPTEL course, Appreciating Linguistics or Typological Approach. We are almost at the end of the typological discussions related to different linguistic fields or linguistic domains. We have had a detailed discussion on lexical typology, morphological typology, syntactic typology and phonetic typology. Semantic typology also we have had quite a lot of discussions on various issues, various challenges, various methods, and the last leg of this domain specific discussion is pragmatic typology. So, pragmatic typology is comparatively a new discipline or new domain. I will not say discipline, it is a new domain of linguistics, it is a young field. So, that is what, let us have the introduction slides first and then we will, or introductory points, then we can eventually go into the pragmatic typological discussions. So, it is a relatively young field that deals with typologies of pragmatics and conversational structures. If you remember it correctly, at the beginning of the course, I did mention that I would pay equal attention on the formal and functional aspect of linguistics. If not equal, considering it is a typological approach, so a bit of my focus has been more on the functional or the descriptive side of it. But in the syntactic typology section, we did have a couple of discussions on formal syntax. So, taking the discussion forward or taking the taking this kind of like the understanding of linguistics as a multidisciplinary field further, pragmatics is primarily, I would like to say pragmatics is primarily the discourse centric domain of linguistics. That means here through pragmatics we are trying to see or we will see how language has been used in the real sense, right, how it is used in the discourse, whether it is spoken or written. Again, my emphasis would be on the spoken aspect of it or the spoken part of it, but at the same time people also there has been enough research on the discourse pragmatics of the written form. So, since we are not focusing much on the written aspect, so our focus is going to be on the spoken form and taking into account the spoken discourse of pragmatics. I would like to say is that this is a relatively young field that deals with typology of pragmatics. What pragmatics? The spoken discourse pragmatics, and primarily it involves the conversational structure. A lot of new linguists are also using a term interactional linguistics. So, pragmatics is a part of the interactional linguistics which involves the conversational structure. And since I just mentioned this focuses on the language use and then the principles that shape them, we cannot ignore its functional aspect. It's rooted in the functional domain of linguistics. So, and these are the two main things that you need to remember when you are trying to understand pragmatic typology. First, it does discuss the conversational structure and it does discuss the language use and the principles that shape them. Okay? And a lot of researchers would also say that pragmatic typology is mainly a domain of or a part of contrastive pragmatics, and this is at least 30 years old, at least I am saying. So, Littlewood 1983, Fillmore 1984, these two works are most seminal in this domain, and this is a tradition of the study of cross-linguistic pragmatic phenomena, and important recent advances have been made in the systematic and detailed comparison of the conversational interaction. So, as I just mentioned, it is always there in the domain of interactional linguistics. Okay? So, two things I am going to write it here before I move on to anything else. So, this is so one is your contrastive pragmatics, and the other one would be 2 points you remember, cross-linguistic pragmatic phenomena, right. Cross-linguistic pragmatic phenomena, that this is the study of, maybe I can write it like this, study of cross-linguistic pragmatic phenomena. So, that is what all about pragmatic typology is. Okay? Right. So, if this is what we are going to focus on, so for sure it does emphasize on the contrastive pragmatics or the contrastive domain of, so compare and contrast, right. So, that is what, so when you think about what exactly could have been the possible reason for the development of pragmatic typology, so these two are the main things that you have to understand. There is a cross-linguistic pragmatic phenomena, and one of the most recent advances in this domain has been the systematic and detailed comparison of conversational interaction. So, what are the linguists trying to do in the recent days? A lot of repository or a lot of corpus has been created on the basis of the conversational data, right. So, and the recording of this conversational data, and when they are trying to study it in a more detailed, more systematic fashion, this has resulted in a streamlined field of pragmatic typology, which is not very young. It is relatively a younger field if you compare it with the other domains of linguistics. So, but though it's comparatively a younger field, it is gaining a lot of attention, it's garnering a lot of attention because of the very nature that it deals with. What is the nature of it, or what is that particular nature that I am talking about? I am talking about the nature of pragmatics as a domain which focuses on language use and the principles that shape them. So, these two things are very important. We need to find out how it is used in the discourse, and second, what are the various principles that it shapes or these uses. So, the language use cannot be that random. Definitely it is random. We cannot put everything in a streamlined fashion, though a lot of things are regularized, a lot of things are streamlined in natural language, but there still has been certain randomness. And this randomness, barring this tiny amount of randomness aside, a lot of things in natural language is actually streamlined. So, this streamlined domain of language, this has been, and the way the streamlined process of language use has been shaped by a couple of, like a few principles. So, the aim or the objective or the scope of pragmatic typology is to unravel or to understand the principles to understand such principles which help us to understand how language flows in a streamlined fashion as much as possible, barring or keeping aside a couple of randomness that it has. So, and what are the different approaches that the linguists are following? We'll talk about it very briefly, but again, as I just mentioned, I'll keep this particular unit very brief and very simple, unlike what I did for the semantics, unlike what I did for the syntactic, phonological and morphological typology, because that was the core focus of my course, and these two, semantic typology and pragmatic typology, I would like to just give you a very brief information, and eventually you may take up an advanced course later, right. Okay. So, a lot of, as I just mentioned, as far as pragmatic typology is concerned, a lot of new generation linguists, including the older ones, they are working tirelessly to contribute to the development of contrastive approach, and this comparative or contrastive approach has eventually led to a discipline called pragmatic typology. So, what is one of the most important question that this discipline asks? So, that's something we need to know. So, one of the most important question that it would ask is the layers of meaning in language use. Okay. So, this is what I will write here, or if not important question, I will say one of the important let us say theme. Okay. So, theme of pragmatic typology would be the use of meaning. So, because, and that is why I would like to keep semantic and pragmatic typology in one unit, because there's a lot of overlapping as far as the domain is concerned, as far as the discussions are concerned. So, there are two things, one is implicit, the other one is explicit layers of meaning. Okay? Implicit and explicit layers of meaning would be something very important when you are talking about let us say pragmatic typology. So, what does it mean? So, when you say implicit and explicit layers of meaning, in word, not in language structure, rather in language use. So, that results in different types. Different cultures have different sort of usages as far as language is concerned, and this question or this theme of implicit and the explicit layers of meaning, which has already been a part of the semantic typology, would be interesting for some people to or people who are engaged in pragmatic research. So, keeping in mind this important theme of pragmatic typology, the question is how to describe such cross-linguistic definition, right. So, this is the theme, and the question is to what is the question? The question would be how to define the cross-linguistic generalization. So, that is a tricky affair in pragmatic typological research. Okay. So, cross-linguistic generalizations. Okay. So, this is the question that revolves around or the entire discussion revolves around this pertinent question. So, considering there are so many cultures, there are so many individuals, and we just discussed this ontogeny recapitulates phylogeny. So, it depends on the individual use of language, which eventually leads to the bigger definition, like which eventually leads to the bigger change in language use. So, considering that idea in mind, keeping in mind that we have so many varieties of cultures in this world, and so many individual users. So, how to account for cross-linguistic generalization? So, and this is one of the most pertinent questions that pragmatic typology asks as a linguistic discipline it asks. So, if you rephrase the question is going to be, are there any realistic prospects for a typology of anchoring devices and strategies? So, this is another question that Zeph Verschuren would ask. So, this is going to be, so the same question can be asked in a different way. Are there any realistic are there any realistic prospects? I will write it as it is written in that paper, exactly, prospects for a typology of anchoring devices and strategies, typology of anchoring devices and strategies. Okay. So, these are the questions which Jeff would ask. Maybe I will just briefly write the reference over here. So, this is all right. So, this is what I want you to remember when we are trying to understand pragmatic typology. So, then the question here is how to answer, the concern here is how to answer this question or how to approach for this question. The question, there are many different ways by which you can actually figure out or you can think about the meaning which involves the implicit and explicit layering as far as language use is concerned, but it would need a lot of samples, like it would need a lot of empirical data to study. And this sample should not be restricted as the formal typologists would do. That is not going to be a good thing to do as far as the pragmatic typology is concerned. Okay. So, to approach this question, and these are the two key questions that Verschuren 2009 would ask. But before that, and he has discussed a couple of methods to answer these queries or to consider these questions or to approach it from these perspective. But before that, let us just have a look at some information that we have about pragmatics. So, when we talk about the implicit and explicit layering of meaning, before that we need to understand what pragmatics is and what sort of information does pragmatics convey as a linguistic discipline. And it is truly an interdisciplinary area of research as far as pragmatics is concerned. So, this is a cognitive, social and cultural science of the language, of language, not the language with a big L. So, considering it has the cognitive components, social components and cultural components, and it is primarily used in the communication domain of human language. So, we need to understand these two questions what Verschuren has raised from an inclusive perspective, from an inclusive method. So, which should give us some inputs about the cognitive aspect of it, cultural aspect of it and social aspect of it. So, instead of identifying or instead of targeting it from each of these domains, we would rather approach pragmatics as a broadly conceived field. So, this broadly conceived field will have elements or will have points or will have inputs from various other disciplines, right. So, and keeping that in mind, we will try to have a look at what Verschuren would suggest to let us say think about or to consider pragmatic typology as a newer discipline. So, Verschuren's idea is that when you approach these two questions which I have mentioned it over here, how to define the cross-linguistic generalization in pragmatic typology, and then the second one is are there any realistic prospects for a typology of anchoring devices and strategies. What is the method? What is the mechanism? For semantic typology, we have seen there are certain mechanisms of semantic change. So, to account for the pragmatic typological questions, do we have a strategy or do we have a device? So, Verschuren, I will just briefly talk about what are the metrics that he would use to answer these questions to understand the explicit and implicit meaning. So, first thing that he would suggest, there is nothing called absolute implicitness. This does not exist. Okay. So, if absolute implicitness does not exist, so we have to find out the implicationals of it, or we have to find out the comparative implicitness. So, there is nothing called absolute. The second thing that he would say, so to answer this question, that there are these he has proposed a 3-dimensional matrix for these questions. So, the first thing that he would suggest that there is nothing called absolute implicitness as far as meaning is concerned. So, that means there must be something which is explicitly said through the language use. So, you cannot find out, like you can't say that the entire meaning has been implicit here, and you could not understand the way it has been spoken, a particular phrase or a word has been used. So, that does not work in pragmatics or in meaning. And then the second thing is that the second matrix that he would suggest, the explicitness and then the implicitness are therefore no absolute opposites. When I say, let's take a very simple example of a word, let's say picture, right. So, picture, it has an explicit meaning, and some people say there has been some implicit meaning too. So, when I say picture, I can actually visualize something before my eyes, right. So, I can think, okay, the picture of a tree or the picture of a fruit or a picture of a house. So, I can actually visualize something. So, these are the explicit representation or the explicit interpretation of a word picture. But now, if we ask the question from the pragmatic typological perspective, is there any way by which we can say that, or we can find out there has been something implicit associated with it? I do not know, we cannot really, maybe this is not the right kind of example, but then as far as typological questions of pragmatics is concerned, and if you compare the implicit and explicit meanings of any given linguistic component, that means they are not actually diametrically opposite to each other. So, implicitness and explicitness, you cannot keep them in two opposite directions, because there is nothing absolutely implicit. Since there is nothing absolutely implicit, how can it be an opposite of absolute explicit? There are certain words where the meanings are absolutely explicit, like you can, when you say book, you can easily figure out that okay, a book could be can be visualized or can be conceptualized like this. So, there is everything explicit about it. Since there is no there is nothing called absolutely implicit, we cannot figure out, we cannot claim that implicitness and explicitness are absolutely opposite to each other. That does not work. So, that is the second thing. The third thing, the degree of explicitness of markers of implicitness, or the features or the triggers of the implicitness is actually used for the understanding of non explicitly stated meaning. This is little tricky. So, the third point, or the third dimension, or out of the three dimensional matrix that Verschuren would propose, the third one is a combination of the implicitness and then the explicitness. So, that means when you think about the implicitness and explicitness, Verschuren would say that the degree of explicitness of markers of implicitness. So, that means implicitness will have certain markers, and these markers are primarily explicit. So, in such cases, these markers, or we can call it let us say triggers. So, these triggers or the markers, they come from the inferential processes. And what kind of inferential processes? Which are helped to understand the non explicitly stated meaning is quite a variable. So, there is nothing fixed, there is nothing standard about it. So, this is a variable, it might change depending on the situation. So, when you are trying to understand the markers of the implicitness, this is basically explicit. So, these are the two words you need to keep in mind. One is implicit versus explicit. So, I do not know if you could follow what I said. So, I am just going to summarize it for you. The first claim, typological claim that Verschuren would make is that in pragmatic typology, as far as meaning is concerned, there is nothing absolutely implicit, right? Is it clear? So, that means no linguistic unit would have 100% implicit interpretation. That does not work. There must be some component of explicitness. So, which one is more prominent? The explicitness is more prominent, because there is nothing called absolute implicit. Then the second dimension, or the second dimension of the matrix would be the explicitness and implicitness are therefore not absolute opposites. Explicitness can be absolute, implicitness is not. Since there is a mismatch between implicitness and explicitness, you cannot put it in the or you cannot put it in the term like absolutely opposite to each other. That does not work. Third, all kinds of implicitness will have certain markers or triggers, and these markers are the markers of explicitness. So, because of this, nothing remains as absolutely implicit, and these markers are quite a variable. They are not fixed. You would not find it, you will not find that there is one particular marker which is found across the linguistic phenomena, across the language. That does not work. So, these are the three dimensions that Verschuren would propose or would talk about to understand the implicitness and then the explicitness of meaning. But before going to that, we need to understand, do you think this kind of an attempt would help us to plot a cross linguistic pattern, or is it just, it sounds to be superficial, and then this is not a possible way to imagine a form of pragmatic typology? even in relation to the relation of some of the fundamental concepts of linguistic pragmatics. So, when you compare it with the fundamental principles of Levintonian principle, let us say, right. So, in Levintonian words of pragmatics, if you try to approach it from a fundamental method, so do you think this kind of an approach is going to help us to understand pragmatic typology? So, that is one way, that is one side of discussion. If possible, like we are not really going to go into much detail, but then just remember it is not an easy task to let us say to draw a pattern cross linguistically depending on the language use as far as the implicitness and explicitness of meaning is concerned, right. So, with this let's try to find out what could be the possible challenges, or what are the most commonly used methods that pragmatic typologists deploy to understand the key concepts, or to understand the nuances of this discipline. Okay. So, what happened? One big challenge that pragmatic typology faces as far as method is concerned, or as far as discussion is concerned, is the matter of sampling. Okay. So, now these are the following Verschuren's claims or following Verschuren's questions. We have these two big terms in hand, implicitness and explicitness of meaning, which makes the task even more difficult to plot a pattern in pragmatic typology. And if that is the question, or that is a challenge that we have in hand, now we will see what are the different methods which have been used to let us say to find out a solution for these kinds of questions. And people have worked on it, and then pragmatic research, considering this is usage centric or function centric, they do follow the descriptive approach. And any discipline that follows the descriptive approach has to deal with a lot of data, lot of empirical data, and this empirical this empirical data brings its own challenges in the methodology and in the research. So, what I will do in the next session is that I will find out what are the different methods that linguists have been using to understand, or to come up with cross-linguistic generalizations in pragmatic typology, and what are the challenges that they are facing. So, when they are talking about the sampling size, there must be some challenge. The evidentiary standard. So, what are the different standard procedure that involves pragmatics research, and why this is also a problem for certain like what are the possible reasons for which these evidentiary standards could also be a problem, and what are the other methods that that linguists deploy or the linguists use to come up with cross-linguistic generalizations in pragmatic typology. So, these are the questions. I am going to take it up in the next session, but as I have just mentioned, this unit, semantic and pragmatic typology, I am going to put it in a little more abstract form without giving much data. So, this is just a brief introduction about the disciplines, and maybe in a long run, if you are more interested to know more about semantic and pragmatic typology, you can register for an advanced course later. So, thank you. The next session is going to wind up the discussions on pragmatic typology. Okay, thank you.